You're listening to ArTEEtude, a podcast with artists created and produced by Detlef Schlich, a visual artist and ritual designer, living and loving in West Cork, and best known for his essay about the cause and effect of shamanism, art and digital culture. Working in the field of performance, photography, painting, sound, installations, and film, he will dive and discover with us and a weekly creative guest into the unknown and exciting deep ocean of the creative mind.
This is Detlef Schlich, and today we dive into the unexpected and exciting creative ocean of the creative mind. Into my creative mind again, into my reflection of some of my guests, and I hope everything will work today because it's my first experiment. I have a new thingy here, and I hope I can record everything with it. To be honest, this time it was really difficult for me to do this podcast because I was so distracted with other things. I'm starting, you see in the background, if you can, you see it next week in my YouTube visual podcast, you see in the background that I've started with physically work with painting, and I was not really up for the promotion for this and that and all that, so I didn't invite any guest and thought it would be nice again to answer some reader questions and to reflect about another guest from my podcast from former times, because in my podcast in general I don't find the time really to I just have to watch technology and everything, so there's a little bit pressure, and it's nice. I think it's nice to have some reflection about these times, because I really had lovely guests, and even for you, dear listeners, if you're new at ArTEEtude, you're more than welcome then to go back and to listen to one of those podcasts, with former guests. First of all, I'm again so excited to speak with myself. Oh God, yeah, being just in monologue with myself and without any talk guest is still different. I would like to start to thank you for all my listeners from all over the world. I actually did I would like to read the list. Maybe I read it in the second part. I can have a look if my list is open here in my podcast analytics. It's open actually. So I would like to thank all the listeners from Ireland, from United Kingdom, from the United States, from Japan, from Germany, from Australia, from the Netherlands, from Spain, from France, China, Norway, Martinique, Singapore, Turkey, Canada, Luxembourg, Iceland, Uzbekistan, and Russian Federation in general, and Austria. I'm not starting now with all the cities. Thank you very much for your support and for your reader questions as well. And I would like to say at the beginning, if any one of you guys has questions or suggestions or would like to be a talk guest in my podcast and things, it would be nice to do a show with him or her, if she is creative. It doesn't have to be just an artist. It can be as well It could be a writer. It can be even if you work creative in a different job also, you know. I mean, you can apply. Just apply to info@artitude.com, and let's see what, maybe we come together, you know, and have a talk with you. The other thing is, I would like to tell you as well that I'm dealing with Instagram, Facebook, and all the other social media platforms. So you're more than welcome to get other background informations via Instagram, via my Instagram account, Detlef Schlich, or ArTEEtude, also at ArTEEtude or at Detlef Schlich. You find me on Instagram as well. You find the at I Love West Cork Artist Group, where I am the administrator of it, and as well on Facebook. So there are plenty possibilities. All right, I would say for the minute that's that, and I would like to now to come to the beginning, reflecting a little bit about one of my former guests, and then I will answer some reader questions as well. One of my former guests I really liked was the Swedish sound artist Mikhail Vanstrom, and that was in episode 14, dear listeners. If you want to go back, it's still there. You can. I had 3 episodes with him where I was talking with him about his journey to Ireland. I was talking with him about a lot of his adventures in former lives. Mikael was, I really loved the talk. So it shows that people can achieve a lot if they want in life, and still can be a nice person, and not a bully or just dealing with elbows. Yeah. So Mikael, we talk about his past life as lecturer at Limerick's University in Ireland, and his present life in Ballydohop, as well as his journey to Ballydohop. Mikael is one of the original members of the Interaction Design Center. He was director at this IDC between 2010 and 2020, before he came over here to Ballydohop. He's a Swedish sound artist, and he deals with a lot of different things. Like, now he's retired. He was at the University of Limerick between 1996 and 2020. So long time, 24 years. No? Yes. And then he retired and came over to Ballydohop, and here based in West Cork, and his research interests cover a range of topics like interaction design, auditory display, physically input and output devices, ubiquitous computing sensors, electronic sound, music, and any other art science collaborations. So it covered a lot of things, and for me it was very interesting how he managed it actually to be still part of a society as an artist, and still that he managed his lot of different interests, bringing that together, and eventually bringing that so on this way together that he still can live without a heart attack. I didn't ask him actually if I had already one, but yeah, that was great. And he's living now here as well, close to Ballydohop, and started with his with his little organic farming, and with you should go to his website and have a look as well. And he and his partner, they are quite cute, and it was really nice to catch up with him. Yeah.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much for your support, and I would like to thank as well for the support of the donations people who gave me donations. One from Dallas and one from New Mexico as well, California. Thank you very much. Actually, I have to look here, this color. This podcast will be live on next Sunday, and then you can see this color here, which is great, and I'm looking forward because it is a special drink. No, I'm not. Tastes actually nice. I'm not making. This is not an advertisement now because I just bought it today. And it's a mix of apple, guava, passion fruit, lime, coconut water, blue spirulina, and vitamins. I don't. Yeah. Nice. And again, I start now and try to make an income somehow with my merchandising. You can find that on ArTEEtude.com. There is my web shop now. You see here one of my artworks on a mug. So you can get it actually for valuable price, So that's even you can get the ArTEEtude collector's cups there, So and I tell you, every piece what you find on t-shirts, like my t-shirts, I create them on my own. Yes, so that's enough for that for now. Like I say, ArTEEtude.com. All right, so that was Mikael, and I would like to go now to some listener questions. Somebody asked me. It was Peter again from London. He asked me, did you finish the book about the friendship between Nietzsche and Wagner, and why you are actually interested in this biography? I had a chat in one of my reflections about this book, and I have it now, and I started with it. Yes, I started with this book, and why am I interested in Nietzsche and Wagner? I have to go back to one of my artworks, which was Transodin's tragedy. This was a part of my final degree show. I'll put the post into my description, and you can watch actually the video if you want. Transodin's tragedy was about the Übermensch, or actually the transhumanism, the way where we're gonna go. Now where we are already merged somehow, human being into machines, whatever, computing a little bit. So we're still human, don't worry, And Nietzsche was Nietzsche's book, Nietzsche's work. Also sprach Zarathustra, or thus spoke Zarathustra. So, oh God, my pronunciation is so bad sometimes.
Like what you hear so far?
Thinking. Yeah. However, Nietzsche wrote this book, and it was about the Übermensch, the Übermensch, who is stronger than we humans, and it was actually a quite critical observation of our society, and towards which direction we're gonna go, So I thought as well, I was always interested in about the relationship between Nietzsche and Wagner, because they used to be friends, and after that they're falling out, and they became enemies. That is actually the reason why I've ordered the book, especially this time is so interesting. I mean, we speak about 1860, 61, 62, 63, where he came together with Wagner, and as well, where Wagner, at this time, Wagner was quite somehow a punker, a rock and roller, and I mean, he used to live far over his expenditures, and he didn't have any money, and if King Ludwig was at this age 18, 19, 20, if he wouldn't be there, Wagner would be maybe still a poor fucker, so it's so this book is actually about the first meeting between Nietzsche and Wagner. So I started with that, and it's quite interesting because it was actually Wagner's partner, Cosima. She was the one who pushed more than less Wagner to this friendship, because she liked Nietzsche, this probably quite and humble person, and both became friends due to Cosima. And I mean, I finished now 3 or 4 chapters, and what I see is that Wagner was very pushy. Wagner and Cosima was very pushy towards very bully. They pushed really Nietzsche to be a friend of them both, And Nietzsche, he was flattered to become friend of Wagner, because Wagner was at this time something like a pop star, And I mean, and if you read the letters between Wagner and King Ludwig II from Bavaria, it is quite hilarious how they talk to each other, I mean, it's really, you, my holy Richard Wagner. I mean, they over-exaggerate everything so much, so that was, at this time, it was probably the way how people spoke to each other in order to show them how they admire them, So that was it was very, very interesting, and I could talk hours about that. I mean, I found it very interesting, Dear Peter, and I found it very interesting that King Ludwig gave Wagner so much money. I mean, Wagner, he became every month 10,000 euros, something. No, that's what's that's actually the money what a minister gets, So just 10,000 euro for the sake to do his operas, So so he was quite the sugar daddy for Wagner, And if you imagine, Wagner was already 50 and King Ludwig II just 20. There was an age difference from 30 years, And interesting. But eventually it's more. So it's somehow as well. This book is somehow as well about the history, but in around 1860, 1870. But I just I'm just on page 120, and yeah, you guys, if you want that to hear more about Wagner and Nietzsche, just put a comment into my description or write me a mail to info@ArTEEtude.com. So and I might go deeper into that as well. Yeah. So far, it is very interesting and insightful, and as well interesting for artists in general, because it was somehow before all these interesting artists from Vienna, like Egon Schiele, Kandinsky, Bauhaus later stage, so 30 years, 20 years later, in Vienna started, so the Wiener Secession group was a big group influenced by all this creative people somehow. It was a mad and wild time, 1860, 1870, 1880, 1890. I mean, it is still mad, I know. Yeah, I hope, Peter, this helped you a little bit, and I would say again, thank you to everyone, and I keep it today a little bit shorter because one of my last episodes were almost 60 minutes, and that was quite far long. So yeah, I hope everything works with my recording, and I would say, dear listeners, thank you for listening. Next Sunday at 10 o'clock, this podcast will be online again, and let's see if I have another talkcast. I don't know it now. I have to look into that. I take it from here because, like I say, I do some physically artwork, and if you want, you can find me on Instagram @Detlef Schlich, and I will post my progress with my artwork as well and everything. So we can stay in contact via email or via Facebook. Detlef Schlich is my account too. If you follow me on Instagram, so please let me know. So if you want that I follow you back, because I am not following back anymore because it's too much already. But if you insist, and if you really want to stay in contact, I will follow. All right. Thank you very much, and I would say have a lovely time, and bye-bye. You're Detlef.
You have listened to ArTEEtude, West Cork's first art, fashion and design podcast. ArTEEtude, never so close again. That was too close.